This is my week 15 video for my persuasive speech. The thing I'm going to be persuading you today is about sports. Sports is a big thing in my life, and I feel like it should be in yours. Because, it's really morphed the way that I live my life. From weightlifting, depending on the sport. That's the biggest thing about this, is depending on the sport that you want to pursue. There is sports for all kinds of different people. Like there's football, there's soccer, there's basketball, there's tennis, there's track, there's all these kinds of sports. There's archery, there's trap shooting. There's so many different sports out there that a lot of people don't necessarily do. And from a young age, you're always going to want to be in sports. Sports will transform your life in a way that you don't really realize. Me personally, I used to hate sports. Like, I would watch them on the TV, but I'd be like, that'd never be me. Like, I'd never get out there and be like physical or do something like that. That's never me. I was that indoorsy kid. I was a nerd, and at the time, everybody was like, Trey, play football, play football. And I'm like, football? Like, never picked up a football in my life, never even thought of playing the game, never knew none of the rules. And I was dead set on not playing because of the fact that I didn't want to injure my brain, because concussions are a big fatality in football. And one day I was like, screw it. I'm not gonna have a regret of not playing ball. So I started playing football, and I got in there, and it shocked me so much, because not only did I fall in love with the sport, I fell in love with the atmosphere, the way it made me feel, the way it changed me. Because in football, you start weightlifting and you start seeing that potential, your ability to grow. And then you start having that camaraderie, your teammates, people actually recognizing you, people looking up to you, you looking up to other people, you setting an example for yourself and setting a goal for yourself that you can accomplish. And that's the best part, because goals, you can just take it little step by step at a time, and you're building yourself into this person that you never knew really existed. And you wouldn't have had any of that had you not took that step into a sport. And my favorite sport to encourage people is football, because football has such a wide range of different positions that you can play and still be effective. Because you got receivers, which are skinny when they can run, and then you have people such as running backs, which are big and can still run just the same, but they're usually bigger builds. And it gets very conflicting when you get into a football team, because you want to have different types of builds, because you need a bunch of different people to make up a football team that's successful. And so I just happen to click. In my football team, I just happen to click. But in other sports, and say you're not interested in football. That's the best part. Say you're not interested in football. Say you don't like the physicality of football. You don't like the physicality of most sports. So that takes out football, soccer, and basketball, like the three most biggest physical sports. You can count wrestling and maybe powerlifting as sports, but that's still pretty physical or straining on the body. You have things such as archery and trap and tennis. Tennis is no contact. There are so many different things out there that you can play. Volleyball. Volleyball is a great sport to play. Not only are you working on sprint work and breathing work, you're working on your legs, you're working on jumping, you're working on the different skills that can tune your mind to where you're more in touch with your body. And that's one of the best things, is when you can be more in touch with your body, you can set your goals higher. And that's one of the advantages to playing in any kind of sport, is your body gets in shape. And when your body's in shape, your mind is starting to realize that we want to be in shape. So it in turn starts working itself out, and you can then be in better shape than what you were before, mentally and physically. So altogether, it is such a good thing to have in your life, sports in general. So when you sit there and you think, oh, I don't want to do this kind of sport because of this reason, don't make an excuse. Don't make a reason for you to procrastinate something that can help you so much in life. Because when you procrastinate something, you end up not doing it. Or you do it and it's so late when you do it that it doesn't really change anything anymore. But when you get in there and you do a sport and you start exercising and lifting and start getting to know the people that you're standing by every day and that you count on. It is such a deep bond that you will never forget. And that is the bond that I want everybody else to realize. That is the bond that I want everyone. This is why I want everyone, no matter who you are, no matter how you're built, no matter what you think you may not have, I want you to join a sport and see how much room you actually have to grow, how much potential you actually have. That's what I want to convince you of today. That's what I want you to realize is that sports is it's such a, I'm trying to look for the word. It's such a specialty. It's something you're not guaranteed. It's special. And you have to take hold of that while you have it.